At what point does a pilot decide to abort a landing? And what are the circumstances that pushes one to do so? The pilots of this very aircraft are about to be faced by the same decision and choice. Stay tuned. Imagine a routine flight over Kenya's scenic landscape, carrying tourists bound for the world-renowned Masai Mara. But as the plane nears its destination, a sudden storm intensifies, turning the skies into a battleground of wind, rain, and zero visibility. Within moments, what began as a short journey becomes a life or death struggle. This is the story of Fly 540's ill-fated flight, a crash that will expose critical gaps in Kenya's aviation landscape and forever change how regional flights approach safety in the face of nature's fury.
On June 5th, 2012, a routine Fly 540 flight left Nairobi Wilson Airport bound for the world-renowned Masai Mara Game Reserve. The aircraft, a Beechcraft 1900D with registration 5Y-BGV, was built for short regional routes and had a capacity of 19 passengers. Fly 540, a well-established airline in Kenya, relied on this sturdy turboprop to traverse Kenya's varied landscape from mountains and lakes to open plains. On board were two experienced pilots and a small group of passengers, eager to reach their destination. Weather reports indicated a turbulent journey ahead. The skies were overcast and a large storm cell loomed along the route. Despite this, the pilots, familiar with the aircraft and the route, felt prepared to navigate around or through the challenging conditions. The first leg of the journey was relatively smooth, but as they advanced farther west towards the Rift Valley, the storm intensified. At this point, the pilots assessed their options: turn back to Nairobi or attempt to land. With fuel reserves sufficient but not unlimited, turning back was not ideal. They opted for a controlled descent toward the airstrip, aware that the winds were unpredictable and crosswinds were likely to be strong. As they descended, rain battered the aircraft, further limiting visibility. Instruments showed a slight drift, but the crew made adjustments to keep the plane aligned. During this first approach, a sudden strong gust destabilized the plane, forcing it off course. The pilots made the call to abort and initiate a go-around, pulling up to circle back for a second attempt. It was a calculated decision, prioritizing passenger safety over precision landing. With the turbulence intensifying, the second approach began. Rain pounded the windshield, wipers moved frantically, yet visibility remained minimal. The pilots prepared for what they knew was their last safe attempt due to diminishing fuel. They steadied the aircraft, recalibrated, and approached the runway again. But just as they descended, a violent crosswind caught the plane. Unlike the first attempt, this gust was stronger, pushing the plane into an unrecoverable angle. The aircraft descended rapidly, veering off the airstrip and impacting hard with the ground. As the dust settled, an air of silence filled the wreckage. Rescue teams arrived swiftly despite the ongoing storm. They worked quickly to pull survivors from the cabin. Miraculously, there were no fatalities, though passengers and crew sustained injuries. Emergency teams coordinated with local authorities to transport the injured to nearby hospitals, where they received urgent care. Following the accident, the Kenyan Civil Aviation Authority, KCAA, and Fly 540 launched an in-depth investigation. Given the serious nature of the incident, aviation experts from multiple agencies were called in to assess the crash comprehensively. Teams scoured the wreckage, carefully analyzing flight data and cockpit voice recorders to reconstruct the events leading to the crash. The black box provided critical insights into the pilot's actions, the aircraft's behavior, and the effects of the severe weather. Preliminary reports confirmed that the storm was far more intense than initially reported, with crosswinds exceeding safe landing thresholds for the Beechcraft 1900D. While the incident raised serious concerns about safety standards, it also reminded us of the courage and hope that can emerge in the face of disaster. As investigations prompted critical lessons for the aviation industry, we are left with gratitude for survival, for second chances, and for the opportunity to make the sky safer for all.